Roethlisberger over the middle. That's caught at the 35. Antonio Brown on his horse and tackled inside the 40-yard line. Derek Kindred made the saving tackle. Time inside the red zone. From the 10, Roethlisberger throwing end zone. Antonio Brown, spectacular catch. Touchdown.
Well, Antonio Brown is officially a free agent.
Hey, you want to be the best? You got to simply outwork your opponents. And when I'm talking opponents, I ain't talking about other guys or the others. When I'm talking about simply outworking your opponent, I mean outwork yourself. I'm my biggest opponent.
Antonio Brown, Mr. Big Chest himself, AB, guy who was at one point the best wide receiver in the entire National Football League, on pace to have a real chance of being able to touch some of Jerry Rice's records if he kept it up. Now, troublemaker on two teams and on his way to the Patriots to experiment to see if the Patriot way can save him. We have to look at this guy who's having such an incredible career. What happened to AB?
Before this drive started, was talking on the sideline the whole time, it seemed like, to Vontaze Burfict, and yes.
Oh my. Burfict was.
This hit in the playoffs against the Bengals, in my opinion, is when everything really started to change for AB. As a Steelers fan and watching every snap he played from the time he was a rookie in the 5th round out of Central Michigan all the way up until he extends the ball to win as time's running out against the Ravens on Christmas Day, to the tirade leading up to the last game of the season when the Steelers needed a miracle to make it into the playoffs. Steelers fans witnessed every moment of AB's storied career. The Vontaze Burfict hit. AB was diagnosed with a concussion, but he did return to the field for the next game in the playoffs. And this sort of set in motion everything that was going to happen with AB on and off the field for the next 2 seasons. The next year, Antonio Brown becomes the highest paid wide receiver in football. A 4-year, $68 million contract, becoming the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. Compare this with a stint on Dancing with the Stars, and AB was even more thoroughly enjoying living the life of a narcissistic star of the entire show, and this started to wear out his relationships with the head coach, with players, with the media, where AB was no longer this easily reachable hard worker who was really building a name for himself in the league and starting to get more of the reputation as a Chad Ochocinco type or a Terrell Owens type of guy, who is a me-first diva who only cares about his own personal accolades. And this really sparked some of the stuff when the Antonio Brown drama started happening. But the Steelers team and the media really had so many storylines to jump on. This is the same time Le'Veon Bell was holding out and demanding a new contract. So these things just kind of played into each other, and we really lost sight of what was going on with AB. Then fast forward to the beginning of the 2017 season. Steelers just drafted Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju comes onto the scene as a Steelers fan. I think this is really likable kid. He's got a great personality. He's the best possible thing that can happen for the NFL right now with the state it's in. This is the time when the whole national anthem scandal is going on. Antonio Brown starts going crazy. Odell Beckham's out there kicking field goal nets. And all of this noise involving the game, and then you bring in a kid like Juju, who at 20 years old comes in, has a really decent rookie season. He loses his bike, and that's national news, and he's just all around likable kid. And he is the exact opposite of what the world is seeing in Antonio Brown. And he, on the field, develops in year 2 into a really good young receiver. AB did not like that at all. And that all kind of culminated at the end of last season, the 2018 season, when Juju is named team MVP. Juju has better season stats than AB. And Juju's on commercials now instead of Antonio Brown. It's Juju this, Juju that, and Antonio Brown, being the type of person that he is, he just cannot take sharing the limelight with someone else. It was different with Le'Veon Bell because they were both on 2 separate sides, but now Juju is specifically reaching into AB's bag, and he's taking some of this tension off of AB. So it ends up, end of 2018 season, after talking about it and causing nonsense in the media, AB demands to be traded from the Steelers. And they grant him this wish, shipping him to the Oakland Raiders. And in Oakland, AB being the only real storyline there, apart from a new head coach, a struggling young quarterback. AB gets what he wants, and he is the absolute star of the show. His issues are paramount to any other issue. Everybody knew about Antonio Brown's feet or Antonio Brown's helmet. They didn't know about the other 89 guys on the roster. And this was even shown in the documentary Hard Knocks that just covered this training camp. So AB had exactly what he wanted. All of the attention, all of the limelight. And then once he started to see he wasn't going to get his own way, he could fight the NFL and the team about his helmet, and he lost. He chose not to attend several practices because AB is bigger than the Raiders. So the Raiders fine him. He goes on in social media to complain about this. And when rightfully so, the general manager steps to him, he has another Antonio Brown moment because he can't be told what is right and what is wrong, what to do. He throws a fit, gets himself released from the team. Now, 6 hours later, he signed with the Patriots, who have a pedigree of taking troubled players on, cutting their personality out, setting it over here. It's like they put a chip in these guys' brains, and they run and live on the Patriots way. So will the Patriots way be able to save Antonio Brown after everything? Will he be able to conform to a system, especially a system as strong as the New England Patriots, where there are two guys running the show? And if your name isn't Bill Belichick or Tom Brady, you don't fit the bill. You are just another guy. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But coming from a Steelers fan who were really burnt the most by Antonio Brown and what he did, I honestly have to say, as funny as the weird stuff he's doing is, and as easy as it will be to just laugh at him, you really have to be concerned about, is he okay? You know, he showed some signs of some mental illness before he started making all this trouble. That I believe that his absolute commitment, 150%, being ready to outwork himself and everyone else on the field, in the locker room, in life, in business, advertising, everything he was involved with, I think that this was an early sign of things to come from AB. AB was going to be the best that ever played the game, or AB was going to sizzle out and be another person struggling with mental illness. And I believe that's something that we need to talk about with AB. Hopefully he has some kind of support system in check, because seeing what we've seen, especially with his time with the Raiders when he was out by himself doing his own thing, can Antonio Brown keep himself clean and be what he is supposed to, with avoiding all of the spotlight on me only, me first, team last type of mentality? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to work out for him. It would be nice if it could work out. I mean, for a team that's not the Patriots, coming from a Steelers fan. But get yourself checked out, AB. Talk to somebody. Something's not right. I guess we'll see, won't we? We'll see. Maybe the TB12 system will be able to help him out, and AB will be back on pace to be the best wide receiver in NFL history. But that remains to be seen. So in the meantime, Mr. Big Chest, take care of yourself. Good luck.
Call me Mr. Big Chest. Big Chest from now on. Big Chest Brown from now on. Don't even call me AB. Just call me Big Chest. Yeah, Mr. Big Chest. Tell your team I'm maxing out.